Born in a small, humble village in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré grew up in a tight-knit community where every day was a lesson in resilience and hard work. Despite the challenges of rural life, he dreamed of making a difference. At a young age, he made the bold decision to join the military, setting out on a path of discipline and service to his country. Through commitment and perseverance, the boy from the village began transforming into a soldier, a leader in the making, driven by his vision for a better Burkina Faso. From his humble beginnings to becoming a beacon of hope for his nation, Ibrahim Traoré's journey reminds us that greatness often rises from the simplest places.
Moi, je pleure le peuple français, mais quand même, il est bien pour l'Afrique. Il est un mal nécessaire pour nous. Ceux qui veulent se réveiller, se réveillent. Ceux qui ne veulent pas se réveiller, comme on le dit, on ne peut pas réveiller quelqu'un qui ne dort pas. Les Africains doivent se réveiller. Nous devons travailler à être indépendants, à faire au moins ce que nos peuples connaissent le bonheur. Et la lutte contre l'impérialisme, c'est ça. Il faut décoloniser les mentalités, prendre en compte toutes ces données-là, parce que le monde nous donne tellement d'exemples à voir. Pour eux, il n'y a pas de morale. Ils peuvent vous désigner aujourd'hui terroriste, mais demain, vous êtes un héros, par leur simple bouche. Ils décident de ce qu'ils font. Ils parlent de démocratie, mais ils se font eux-mêmes des coups d'État.
It's also a message to encourage them to continue in this direction, because they have understood our message of industrialization, of creating jobs for the Burkinabe youth. Investing is a risk. Every investment is a risk, but one must have boldness and courage. And if they had the courage to invest, it doesn't go unnoticed, as he so rightly said. I think the ministry has also done everything to support and advise them. And with the postal bank as well, as he mentioned, this is a message to tell others who are still hesitant to venture into industrialization that now is the time, because this is the very first detergent production unit in Burkina Faso. Since Burkina has existed, we have been importing detergents. How many jobs are created, and the national market needs these detergents? So, we will continue to encourage all those who have taken the initiative to venture into industrialization, support them, and help them move forward so that our country becomes industrialized and prosperous. This is what led us to be present and to help support them. And if we are cowards, our children will ask us questions. Imagine if in Burkina we refuse to fight and we accept to submit to live in slavery. Tomorrow our children will grow up. They will ask questions. Were our parents cowards to leave us in slavery? Whether we are alive or dead, we will feel it. The coward is afraid. And the imperialists have understood. They try to instill fear in the leaders so that you become cowards. Because when you are a coward, all other vices can arise. They do everything to make us afraid. They come into our palaces. They threaten us directly or with veiled threats. Of course, we respond as we should. They always take examples. They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like this, but where is he? He is dead. The Haitian president, he tried to do it like this. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. These are the veiled statements made to us to instill fear. And then we also often see some young people trying to follow in the footsteps in a different way. You can hear them say, such a person ruled like this, he has the sepulchre. Such a person ruled like this, he is in prison. All this to try to scare us, to make us cowards. I think they haven't understood something. When we say the homeland or death, we shall overcome, it's not just a phrase, it has its full meaning. We are not afraid and we will never be afraid. We will continue our struggle. They have undoubtedly and surely scared numerous African heads of state. You often see when we speak or when we have the opportunity to be in certain situations abroad, we often make statements to call on African heads of state to wake up, take care of our youth, to be able to initiate our real development, we are often misunderstood. Some have responded publicly to our statement because they feel targeted. But I can assure you, youth, that when we find ourselves in their corridors, these same heads of state tell us, you are on the right track. This is what needs to be done for Africa to feel empowered. So, we ask them questions about why you don't do as we do, why you don't support us. Some tell us they are entangled, some tell us they cannot. Dear elders, African heads of state, from this platform, I would like to say that African people are the most peaceful people. When you recognize the wrong, you must tell the people. Let us not be afraid tomorrow to go out and tell the people. We apologize. We have been compromised. We have ill-gotten gains. We have been constrained by many things, and we ask for forgiveness and return to the right path. And to start truly working for the independence of our states and our emancipation. And I believe it is possible. If we remain in this posture of fear, we will be cowards, and history will judge us. Our children will ask questions, our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history. There is no room for cowardice. If our ancestors had been cowards, we would not be here.
Vous avez déjà évoqué le volet diplomatique. Ça a été dommage. Je tiens à donc vous signifier l'amitié surtout à cette étape. Et je puis vous rassurer que la situation que la Russie vit actuellement avec l'opération militaire, que vous avez en tout cas le soutien du peuple burkinabé et le soutien donc à toute la sous-région. Et donc c'est un point très important pour nous et on souhaite que le désir de changement des différents peuples. Voilà, nous ne dirons pas le désir de changement de partenaire, mais le désir de changement de la politique. Et ce qui amène donc forcément à tourner dos à nos partenaires traditionnels et à nous tourner vers les vrais amis que sont la Russie, qui nous ont soutenus depuis la période de décolonisation jusqu'à aujourd'hui.
Africa Command after a Washington, D.C. ceremony held this morning. U.S. Africa Command is based out of Stuttgart, Germany, where Langley will command all U.S. forces in Africa. 150 of General Langley's closest friends, family, and colleagues attended the promotion pinning ceremony today.
I, Michael Elliott Langley,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Langley has served in the Marines for 37 years and is originally from Shreveport, Louisiana.
The other two competitors are just trying to replicate what we do best.
I can imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traoré and Burkina Faso, as they know that both whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across. Even in Sudan, what's going on with the rapid support forces and Burhan of the Sudan forces, when you get down to it, is all about the revenue that can be drawn out of that, and there are nefarious actors in the CCP or in sometimes Russia are complicit in those activities.
Burkina Faso's military government said on Monday that it had foiled a major plot to overthrow the country's junta leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Security Minister Mahamadou Sana said on state television that plotters included current and former soldiers and terrorist leaders. They had planned to swarm the presidential palace on April 16. This is just the latest attempt to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré after he seized power in the 2022 coup. His military government had pledged to fight jihadist groups and had even sought support from Russia. But security threats persist and 40% of the country remains under jihadist control. Mahamadou Sana said that the coup attempt aimed to sow total chaos and place the country under the supervision of an international organization. He also claimed that the plot instigators are based in Ivory Coast. Last week, Burkinabe authorities had already arrested several military personnel accused of planning to destabilize the government.
I now give the floor to His Excellency Basolma Bazi, Minister of State, Minister of Civil Service of Burkina Faso. Excellence.
Excellency, distinguished President of the 78th session of the UN General Assembly, distinguished Secretary General of the United Nations, distinguished participants, on behalf of His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of the Transition Head of State, I convey to you the warm greetings of the people and government of Burkina Faso. On behalf of the Burkinabe people, I pay a humble tribute to the memory of those great world leaders who embodied the hopes and dreams for a just and equitable world through their commitment, determination, and sacrifice. I'm thinking in particular of Fidel Castro of Cuba, Patrice Emery Lumumba of Congo, Modibo Keïta of Mali, Ruben Nyobe and Félix Moumié of Cameroon, Sylvanus Olympio of Togo, Che Guevara of Argentina, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X of the USA, Nelson Mandela of South Africa, Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, Amilcar Cabral of Guinea-Bissau and Cabo Verde, Marian Mugabe of the Republic of Congo, Captain Noel Isidore Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso, and others. These leaders were largely executed violently. Others were assassinated. They died in prisons or from poisoning. Their only crime in each case was embodying the dreams, ambitions, and hopes of the peoples that have been killed, raped, trampled, and pillaged. Mr. President, my presence at this august podium before the UN on behalf of Burkina Faso, country of upstanding men, is not to beat my breast in lamentation. And I am not here either to make a flowery speech. I was sent here to tell you that the lies of states, diplomatic hypocrisy, the thirst for power, the frenetic quest for profit, the diabolical spirit of domination and exploitation of man by man, these are the true wounds that poison our coexistence and drive all societies toward perdition, including our organization, the UN. His Excellency, Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the UN, His Excellency, Mr. Joe Biden, President of the United States, His Excellency Dennis Francis, Representative of Trinidad and Tobago, to the UN, elected President of the 78th session of the General Assembly, His Excellency Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, President of the Republic of Brazil. Allow me to here cite excerpts from your respective statements delivered at this very podium at the opening of this 78th session. First of all, and I quote, "We are living in an upside-down world. Bodies litter the beaches where billionaires bask." Secondly, and I quote, "We are at a crossroads. We have a common cause, that is, leaving to our children a world with a better social environment." End quote. For the third person, despite difficulties, we can emerge from this. What we lack is not ability, but political will. Otherwise, we'd be able to provide progress and peace for all, end quote. And for the fourth personage I'm citing, quote, "There's a dissonance between rhetoric and practice, the facts. The UN Security Council is paralyzed. The UN must shoulder its responsibilities in a world of solidarity and justice as laid out in the UN Charter, and this requires it to have the courage to fight inequality." End